All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:30. It is November 4th. It is election week. Wow. How did we get here? We're here. Strap yourselves in. Anyway, I feel like I've traded through a bunch of election weeks, and everyone who thinks they know what's going to happen, they have absolutely no idea. So the bottom line is you need to know what you can handle. You need to know, what you're looking to do. You need to know your risk. You need to know your time frame, and and then hopefully we have a president on Wednesday or so. So with that said, there's a lot of talk out there on who's favored, who's not favored, and at this point, um, I think it's anyone's game. I'm not going to make any predictions because everyone who was saying how this whole Trump trade, was indicating a Trump victory. It's kind of equaled out. We'll get to that in a second. But anyway, my name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Hopefully, you had a great holiday weekend with Halloween and the weather and this and that. At this point, let me connect my charts here real quickly. At least we have some points of reference for this week. What do I mean by that? Well, if you look here at the chart of the spies, you will see that it kind of broke the 8 and 21 day. We kind of risked down a little bit last week. We didn't have the greatest of action, to be honest. They could have, bought the earnings for Google and they sold it. Apple was a nothing burger. Meta, they said the expenses were high. Microsoft missed on revenues. And then Jeff was selling Amazon everywhere. So at this point, you have this, breakaway gap to the downside. We'll see if this gets filled this week or not. And then you have, the prior low, and then this 565 is a pretty big area going sideways, but it's also just right here. And then you have the 100-day, which is 555. So you almost want to figure out the ranges here and what outcome could potentially produce the type of move. So, but again, everyone's trying to game this, and I think most have been wrong. So anyway, with that being said, let me just say hello to some of my dogs around the world. Good morning, Scotty Gids. We got Blair. We got Jose in the house from Caracas. What's up? What's up, Space Specialist? We got Tony Wallace. Everyone's like energy, energy, energy. Isn't that cute? Everybody loves energy now, and energy's been the worst sector, and now you have tech lower. So anyway, this is everybody, talking. They could all, kind of chime in and give their 2 cents, or which is usually worth more than 2 cents. Anyway, we got Allison Kaplan. We got Be Well. We got the Space Specialist. Good morning, BKTX. Yes, yes. Well, I'm not counting my money in BKTX until we get closer to the open, but that could help counteract some of the other paper cuts. What up, Jay from the VTF? How you doing? Morning, Bloomington. So anyway, so with that being said, it's like, everyone's kind of trying to frame their week. What do they think could happen? How are they going to position? This is one of the biggest binary events out there, so it's like, if you don't take stock into earnings, you shouldn't be taking stock into, into the election, especially if there is no president on Wednesday. Chances are everything's down besides what you think could happen if, Kamala gets voted in or Trump gets voted in. I posted this weekend just real quickly. Let's see. No, not that one. Let's go this one, where I kind of give my roadmap, and everyone's like all anxious. I heard on 1010 Wins today how like people are losing sleep. Hey, there's Chase and Holden about the election, about the anxiety. And I get it. Okay. I get the fact that it's like, everyone's like, this is my life. I was, I had dinner with Chase yesterday with my wife, and we were talking about, what he thinks the difference between a Republican is and a Democrat, what he like, just what they're learning in school. And they're learning about like ancient history, and these teachers aren't even really teaching, things that are so relevant. I want to get into that. But anyway, I've told you guys my financial roadmap, right? So if if you're in your 40s like me, I'm 52 actually, and this is your longer term, world, this election means absolutely nothing to you. Keep putting in. If you have a job and you have a 401k, make sure to max it out. Keep putting it in. If you have a 529 for your child and he's in elementary school or middle school, keep putting it in. If you have a blood in the street account, like I have the luxury to have because my wife worked for a hospital and then had to leave, and it's been just being navigated without inflows. Mine is in full cash and a full rider. It's been put to work 17 times. So if something were to happen and we were to drop 5, 6, 7% off the highs, this would go to work. my whole life insurance, I started at 35. I'm 52. Thank goodness I sacrificed. And then I haven't done anything with long-term care. And then if you're up here, in your active trading account, it should be in full cash. So you can take advantage of the emotion of every single day, because there will be a lot of emotion. If there's no, president on Wednesday, chances are we have a big gap down. You'll use your levels and you can make cash flow based on the levels. Swing account, we're now below the 821 days, so you should have less risk in there. I have less risk in my swing account, some options, which I do have. And then the box is a lot less risk because I have a lot less on in here. So anyway, with that being said, let's go back to some of the charts. This is my roadmap. So it's all a little bit different based on all the different environments, and it takes a long time to get all these things working together. At 35, I didn't have life insurance. Also, I didn't also have a 529 because my son was 2. So it all gets accumulated over time, but at least you have to be educated on what does what, kind of. Anyway, that's not what I'm truly here for. I'm here to figure out how to make cash flow every month and every quarter for a living, which is what you guys are here to do too. So with that being said, let's go back to the SPYs. Into strength on what's it called? On Friday, I did buy some 565 puts just to have on. So that is like a little bit of a hedge. At least I paid less up here, and I also sold some premium. But what I also have on, which is kind of annoying, is I did. Everyone was kind of laughing about Amazon, but it still was annoying. I wound up losing a decent amount of money on Friday because I was like, how could he be here again selling? And P.S. Jeff sold, I think, 12 million shares total on what's it called? That's a lot of shares. 12 million on Friday. He sold, I think, like 5 or maybe 8. I'm not exactly sure. Last July. So I think he's got 25 million to sell. So he's suffocating it. Last time he suffocated up here, and people lost interest, and now we're up here, and now Amazon's down $1.44. I am long Amazon. So what I did is, into this pullback, I bought 202.50s for this week, just in case we do get a decisive victory and the market wants to rally. I feel like this is in the game, so I bought 202.50s, and then I went out a few weeks and bought the 207.50s, thinking that, if we get some kind of market rally, they're going to chew through his stock, and then once it goes, you look back on the weekly chart, you go to 2020, Amazon was in the same spot. 2021, Amazon in the same spot. We're 2024. So anyway, I've chose this to put on some longer term options, as if we're up big, maybe that works. And then I started buying Tesla back, and bottom line is Tesla was 273. You had a red dog reversal here, and it's been down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So all of those guys out there saying, hey, the market's saying Trump's going to win. Tesla, where Elon's been a full, huge advocate for Trump, it's slowly coming from 270. And it's down 5 this morning. So if you think that Trump's going to win, if you think that that's the case, then Elon gets a little bit extra privileges or some kind of halo, then chances are, today's your day to maybe buy some options for this Friday or next Friday, considering we're at 243 right at this gap from numbers. And this was one of my biggest plays during earnings season. It was one of the only ones that really worked, where I had the 240s, sold some for like a double, then I created the call spread and been trading it since. So here you are. So if you think that Trump's going to win, today's a pretty good day after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of pullback to put on some kind of options into the election. Okay. Chances are, if there's no president on Wednesday or Thursday, everything's lower, including Tesla. If there is, and it happens to be Trump and it's a landslide, this should have an emotional lift, I would think. So I would think if you needed 2 things that potentially could be higher with a landslide Trump victory, if that's the case, it'd probably be Tesla and then maybe Amazon. That's just my thought. FSLR is up 8 this morning. Okay, that means, that's the alternative energy side. Okay, this stock has been broken, it's been battered and bruised, and so if it is a Kamala victory, then they think that it's going to be very very clean energy, very alternative energy, and that's okay too. So they're bringing in the Trump trade into the election, and they're starting to push up the Kamala trade. So by the time we're there, it's going to be a toss-up anyway. So we'll see. But bottom line is, I'm not buying FSLR up here. Solar has not been doing well at all. I'm still in a lot of those nuclear type plays. We'll see how that goes. And they need time too, like OKLO. That's XLO, OKLO. Again, very sloppy. But at this point, you remember we were in this thing from like 11 when as high as 28 also did a red dog reversal sell to adjust. And now it's trying to hold on to the 21 day. I'm not in the stock. I'm in some options, but I bought them on a dip. I've been trading around it. This was like my biggest winner of October, and I had no idea what this was in September. That's kind of like the beauty of trading is new groups come out. So now we'll see it's in a corrective phase. I guess if it does get hit harder to get to the 21 day, this is a big area. The same thing with this SMR. It's already below the 8 day. Here's your 21 day. So, stocks have momentum. Stocks act well when they're above the 8 and 21 day. At this point, it's coming in. So we'll see what happens there if it holds this area. I'm not even talking about NNE. That's the other one. Everyone's saying crypto. Okay. But, crypto came in also a bit, IBIT. So we had a really nice move in crypto heading into the election. I did pretty well also. I was, October 11th is when I came out with the cute turkey trot. I was like, hey, let's buy Bitcoin now or IBIT now, because once we get to Thanksgiving, usually it's up a lot, and that's when everyone says, oh, how do I buy Bitcoin? But meanwhile, it just had a big run. So anyway, it did have a run, and now it's been pulling back. So we're going to probably be somewhere around the 21 day come election time. So we'll see if that holds. So at this point, it doesn't seem like there's, a lot of easy trading going on here. It's never easy, but sometimes there's more continuity than other. Yeah. So Rick, my buddy from the past, says solar up, Tesla down. Traders are betting Kamala has already won. You could say a week ago they were betting that Trump already won. I just think it's the algos pushing things around when they could push them around before there's an outcome. Like, just say like they pushed up DJT, that didn't mean that they thought that he was going to win. It's just that they could squeeze the shorts, do what they wanted to do. And now it's already coming to here. So it would be kind of cute that now everyone thinks Trump's not going to win and everyone's getting short, and then he wins and it goes. So, I wouldn't read too much into, kind of what's happening everywhere. Mario says, oh, good morning. Thanks for the Covenant House. Yes, I did put the link to Mario's big charity for the kids. He gives up his bed so other kids could sleep. That's pretty cool. Got to give to charity. I'd rather give to a lot of charities than get taxed at a 50% all in and let the government spend my money on whatever they want, because chances are it usually goes in their pockets. Not to be cynical, but, again, one of the things I was saying to Chase when we were talking about the difference between Republicans and Democrats, I'm just like, I would say I believe in capitalism. I believe in free enterprise. I don't mind getting taxed. I obviously know that we need roads. We need a military. We need to help some individuals that might need help. But, 42% all in is a lot of taxes. Do I want to pay over 50% taxes and work half my time for the government? No. So, and do I think everyone should get a trophy? No. I said to Chase, I'm like, you work out every single day. You spent the entire summer, figuring out how to dunk as a freshman. I'm like, you're a performance-based athlete. Okay, not saying, I think that's more of a Republican frame of mind a little bit, But anyway, with that being said, maybe the schools could teach things a little bit better. What's Rick saying now? I'm just saying that that's how traders are positioning. Not that she's won. I'll be buying Tesla calls into weakness and puts in FSLR. So you're smart. You've been doing this a long time. But anyway, it's 6:45. Again, I'm just going to show the SPYs. I don't really, have high conviction. I would think that if we don't have a president one way or another, that we break 568 and see 565 probably pre-Fed, which is Wednesday into Thursday. If it is decisive, and it's Trump, maybe we fill this gap and go a little bit higher. If it's Kamala, chances are there might be a knee-jerk reaction lower, but markets did pretty damn good under Biden and that administration for the last 2 years or so or more. So don't have too much of an opinion. Don't let the media steer you into what should happen, or even those who speak on TV who think they know what's going to happen. Know your levels, know what you can handle, know your time frame. If you have all those accounts and you have your own roadmap, just know that you could be right and be wrong into this week. You could be wrong and be very wrong and blow yourself up and dig yourself out of a hole the rest of the month. You could also say, hey, I'm going to be sitting in a lot of cash. I'm going to go to cash, my active account, my swing account, let the dust settle, miss a few things, miss a few lotto plays, but better than losing a lot of paper cuts. And then all of a sudden, once the dust settles and we see what the new trends are and where rates are going and what sectors are in play, and then maybe you miss a little bit, but then at least you have new points of reference and you're not in harm's way. So my major advice to you from all the years of trading, since I've been doing it since 1998, is whatever you think is going to happen is probably not going to happen. There will be huge ranges and huge volatility. So if you don't want to you don't want to guess and play like lotto plays or with options like we do sometimes into earnings, because some hit, some don't, and chances are you just waste your brain capital. Just have on a little less as you go into this week. Have a little bit more peace of mind. Wait for points of references. Know where, what makes sense. 555 to me, if we see it this week, is probably viable. I might even put a small portion of the Blood on the Street account, because that would be 30 handles or, off the highs of 30 points. I do have some puts on just in case. I paid into strength. I have some calls on just in case, and then I'm just going to trade accordingly, and we'll see how it goes. Listen, I'm going to be on XMSR radio today, 9:10 if you want to tune in, the Financial Network. And then tomorrow I'll be on with Liz Clayman at 3:03, talking about where we are and how to situate for, a few different outcomes. But ultimately, the best place I could be is usually in front of my desk, hanging out with the Alpha team, figuring out ways we can make money, stay safe, have some fun, work on our routine, work on our process. So this way we could do this for a lot longer than just election week. And although we all think, what happens in Washington is a major impact on our lives, it's truly not. Okay, the only way you're going to advance your your life is by changing your behavior. If you're not up early enough, get up early. If you're not prepared enough, figure out how to get more prepared. If you're not, having a great family relationship at the time, figure out where's the miscommunication between your spouse and your kids. Like, figure out what you could do to do things better, and that's how you're going to make forward progress in your life. Not on whoever's president or whoever is in the office. They're not going to change anything for you. You can only make changes within yourself. Good luck today, guys.